From invisible to indispensable. How observing the unseen altered my worldview. Have you ever felt that there's something more to life than what you can see? That beneath the surface of our daily routines and responsibilities lies a deeper truth waiting to be discovered? Today, I'm going to share with you the hidden truths that completely transformed my perspective and changed my life forever. For a long time, I was stuck in a state of disharmony, feeling disconnected from the world around me. I went through the motions of my day, but I couldn't shake the feeling that there was something missing. It wasn't until I stumbled upon the concept of holistic living that I began to understand the true nature of reality. Holistic living is about recognizing that everything is connected. It's about understanding that our individual lives are intertwined with the lives of those around us, the natural world, and the universe as a whole. When we adopt a holistic approach to life, we begin to see the world in a new light. We realize that our thoughts, emotions, and actions have a profound impact on those around us and on the world at large. As I delved deeper into the principles of holistic living, I started to notice changes in my life. I felt more grounded and centered, more connected to the people and the world around me. I began to see challenges as opportunities for growth and learning, rather than threats to my comfort and security. One of the key concepts that helped me shift my perspective was the idea of energy vibrating at different frequencies. According to this concept, everything in the universe is made up of energy, and that energy vibrates at different frequencies. When we're feeling happy and connected, our energy is vibrating at a high frequency, while when we're feeling sad or disconnected, our energy is vibrating at a lower frequency. As I learned to recognize and align my energy with the world around me, I started to experience a sense of inner peace that I had never known before. I felt more at ease with myself and with the world, and I began to see the beauty and wonder of life in a new light. I realized that life is not just about getting from one point to another, but about the journey itself, the people we meet, the experiences we have, and the lessons we learn along the way. The hidden truths that I've discovered have completely transformed my perspective and changed my life forever. I'm no longer content to simply go through the motions of my day. I'm no longer satisfied with a superficial existence. I'm on a mission to live a life of authenticity, to be true to myself and to the world around me. And I hope that by sharing my story, I can inspire you to do the same. Just like many of you watching right now, I used to believe that life was simply a series of checkboxes to tick off. Get good grades, land a great job, build a perfect family, and accumulate material success. But what I discovered on my journey of spiritual awakening shook the very foundation of everything I thought I knew. We've all been conditioned to live in a world that's governed by rules, laws, and expectations. From an early age, we're taught to conform, to fit in, and to never deviate from the norm. But what happens when we conform too much? When do we pause and question whether this is really the life we want? For me, it was the moment when I realized I was living a life that didn't truly reflect my values and passions. Spiritual awakening is often shrouded in mystery and misconception. But for me, it was a revelation that completely upended my worldview. I had always been interested in the metaphysical and the unknown, but it wasn't until I started exploring these topics in depth that I began to see the world in a different light. I realized that there's so much more to existence than what we can perceive through our five senses, that there are energies, frequencies, and dimensions beyond our tangible reality. As I delved deeper into my spiritual journey, I started to notice the patterns of conditioning that had been holding me back for so long. I saw how fear, shame, and guilt had been used to control and manipulate us, to keep us in line with the status quo. I started to question everything, to challenge the norms and assumptions that had been handed down to me. And it was this newfound awareness that gave me the courage to break free from the shackles of conditioning and forge my own path. Spiritual awakening is not about some grand cosmic epiphany. It's about waking up to the present moment and embracing the unknown with curiosity and wonder. It's about recognizing our true nature and reclaiming our power, our authenticity, and our individuality. It's about boldly stepping into the unknown, even when the path ahead seems uncertain. And it's this exact moment, the moment we choose to awaken to our true potential, that changes everything. Life was never meant to be a series of checkboxes to tick off. It was always meant to be a journey of discovery, growth, and evolution. As we awaken to our true potential, we start to see the world in a different light, to experience life in all its beauty and complexity. We start to see that we're not just individual entities, but interconnected threads in the grand tapestry of existence. And it's this profound realization that gives us the courage to embark on a new journey, one that's guided by our heart, our intuition, and our higher purpose. I remember that epiphanic moment when I realized that everything I believed about reality was just the tip of the iceberg. I used to pride myself on being logical and rational. Every decision I made had to make perfect sense, had to fit into neat little boxes of understanding. But this rigid thinking was like wearing blinders, preventing me from seeing the vast spectrum of possibilities that existed beyond my limited perception. As I reflect on that period of my life, I realize how parochial my worldview was. I thought I had everything figured out, that I had a complete understanding of the world and how it worked. But the truth was, I was missing out on so much by not being open to new ideas and perspectives. I was trapped in a prison of my own making, where every experience and insight was filtered through the narrow lens of my preconceived notions. It wasn't until I began to challenge my own assumptions and question the status quo that I started to see the world in a different light. I started to explore new ideas and perspectives, and in doing so, I discovered a vast and multifaceted reality that existed beyond my limited understanding. It was as if a veil had been lifted from my eyes, and I could see the world in all its beauty and complexity. Looking back, I realized that my journey was not about discovering some hidden truth, but about embracing the uncertainty and mystery that lies at the heart of existence. It was about learning to see the world with fresh eyes, without the burden of preconceptions and prejudices. And it was about embracing the awe and wonder that comes from encountering the unknown. The transformation didn't happen overnight. It was more like watching a sunrise, gradual, beautiful, and absolutely inevitable. You might be wondering what triggered this shift. It wasn't one big event, but rather a series of small awakening moments that began to crack open my consciousness. As I looked back on the journey, I realized that it was the accumulation of these tiny sparks that ignited a fire within me. They were moments of clarity, of insight, and of epiphany, each one building upon the last to create a wall of understanding that shattered my old way of thinking. It was as if the hinges of my mind had been loosened, allowing the doors of perception to swing open and reveal a new world beyond. I remember feeling a sense of disorientation, as if I was standing on the edge of a cliff, gazing out into an unknown expanse. The familiar landscape of my thoughts and emotions was changing, and I was both excited and terrified by the prospect of what lay ahead. In our fast-paced world, we're constantly chasing the next big thing. We're bombarded with endless notifications, never-ending to-do lists, and an unrelenting pressure to constantly produce and achieve. But have you ever just stopped? I mean, truly stopped everything and simply existed in the present moment. The first profound truth I discovered was in the power of stillness. When you learn to quiet your mind, you begin to hear the whispers of wisdom that were always there, just drowned out by the noise of daily life. It's as if a veil has been lifted, and you're finally able to see the world with clarity and perspective. As I delved deeper into this concept of stillness, I realized that it's not just about finding a quiet spot to meditate or practicing a specific technique. It's about cultivating a mindset that allows you to tune in to your inner self, to listen to your intuition, and to trust your instincts. When you're able to tap into this inner wisdom, you'll begin to notice subtle shifts in your perspective and behavior. You'll start to make decisions that align with your values and passions, rather than following the crowd or trying to meet someone else's expectations. For me, this journey of discovery began with a radical act of self-care. I started taking time for myself, literally taking breaks throughout the day to breathe, reflect, and recharge. I began to prioritize my own needs and desires, and I made space for activities that brought me joy and fulfillment. As I continued on this path, I started to experience profound changes in my relationships, my career, and even my overall sense of purpose. I felt more grounded, more confident, and more aligned with my true self. It wasn't always easy, of course. The journey of self-discovery can be messy and unpredictable, and there were certainly times when I felt lost and uncertain. But through it all, I kept coming back to the power of stillness, and the wisdom it brought me was invaluable. Today, I want to share this wisdom with you. I want to encourage you to take a step back, breathe deeply, and listen to the whispers of your own inner wisdom. It's there, waiting for you to tap into it. The moment I'd come to call my veil-lifting experience was one I would never forget. It was as if someone had adjusted the focus on a cosmic camera lens, allowing me to see our existence in a completely new light. I was sitting in my backyard, watching the sunset, when suddenly everything shifted. The sky transformed from a typical sunset to a canvas of stunning beauty. Colors danced across the horizon, a kaleidoscope of pinks, oranges, and purples that left me breathless. It was during this moment of clarity that I began to see the bigger picture. I realized that our human constructs, our schedules, our worries, our endless pursuits, were all just stories we had collectively agreed to believe. These constructs were not absolute truths, but rather fabrications we'd created to navigate our lives. And just like any story, they could be reimagined, rewritten, or discarded altogether. As I sat there, I felt a sense of freedom wash over me. It was as if I'd been removed from the constraints of my own making, freed from the constructs that had held me back for so long. I felt a sense of lightness, of weightlessness, as if I were floating above the world, unencumbered by the burdens that had once weighed me down. In that moment of revelation, I understood that life was not about achieving a certain status, accumulating wealth, or attaining success. It was about living in the present, embracing each moment as it unfolded. It was about experiencing the world around me, not just watching it from the periphery. Here's something that might blow your mind. Your thoughts aren't just passive observations. They're actively creating your reality. Every belief you hold is like a filter through which you experience the world. When I realized this, I began to carefully examine my thought patterns and the stories I was telling myself. At first, it was unsettling to confront the possibility that my thoughts were shaping my reality. But the more I delved into it, the more excited I became. I realized that I had been living in a world that was filtered through the stories I had been told when I was young, the expectations of those around me, and even the fears I had about what others thought of me. One of the most powerful moments for me was when I began to recognize the patterns of thought that were holding me back. I realized that I had been carrying around limiting beliefs that had been passed down to me through generations, like a heavy backpack that I thought was a part of who I was. As I began to examine my thought patterns and the stories I was telling myself, I realized that gratitude and a positive attitude were not just habits, but a mindset that I could cultivate to change my reality. By focusing on the good things in my life and being mindful of my thoughts, I started to notice subtle but profound shifts in my experiences. For example, I used to get anxious about traffic jams and time management, but now I see them as opportunities to practice mindfulness and patience. When I walk into a crowded city street, I don't get overwhelmed by the noise and chaos. Instead, I find peace in the rhythm of human activity. I also started to examine the stories I tell myself when faced with challenges or setbacks. I used to think that I was a failure when I made mistakes or encountered obstacles, but now I see them as opportunities to learn and grow. By reframing my thoughts, I've stopped beating myself up over tiny setbacks, and instead, I choose to focus on the lessons I can learn from them. As I looked deeper into my thought patterns, I started to notice that many of my beliefs about life were shaped by the media and societal expectations. I had bought into the idea that I needed to have a certain type of job or career to be successful. That success was about achieving a certain status or making a specific amount of money. But when I looked at my own values and passions, I realized that I wanted to live a life that was more authentic and fulfilling. I wanted to create things that brought value to others and to myself. By letting go of limiting beliefs, I opened myself up to new possibilities, and I found more peace and happiness in my life. Of course, this journey has not been without its challenges, but by choosing to rewire my thoughts, I've found a freedom and sense of possibility that I used to think was just out of reach. Imagine a vast web of light, connecting every single thing in existence. That's not just a pretty metaphor. It's the reality I discovered. Every choice you make, every action you take, ripples out into the universe in ways we can barely comprehend. We're not just connected. We're one living, breathing organism experiencing itself in countless different forms. As I delved deeper into this understanding, I began to see the world in a new light. Every person, every entity, every even a thought or a feeling is intertwined, influencing and being influenced by the rest. It's a web of interconnectedness, where every strand is vital to the tapestry as a whole. This realization came to me through a series of epiphanies, each one building upon the last, gradually revealing the hidden truths that had been lurking beneath the surface of my reality. It was as if the veil of ignorance had been lifted, allowing me to see the world in all its beauty and complexity. With this new understanding, my life was forever changed. I no longer saw myself as a separate entity, isolated from the rest of the world. Instead, I was part of a greater fabric, connected to everyone and everything around me. This knowing gave me a sense of freedom, of empowerment, and of responsibility, for I knew that my actions had the potential to ripple out and impact the world in profound ways. As I continued on this journey, I began to see the world with new eyes. I saw the light that connected us all, the unity that bound us together as a single organism. This understanding became the foundation upon which I built my life, guiding my thoughts, words, and actions towards a path of harmony, balance, and coexistence with the world around me. We've been conditioned to believe that life is a never-ending competition, a constant pursuit of excellence, where the goal is to be better than everyone else. We're bombarded with messages that tell us we're not good enough, that we need to strive for more, that we need to be exceptional. But what if I told you that this mindset is based on a fascinating illusion, one that's been perpetuated by society to keep us distracted and asleep? We think we're in control, but are we? Are we truly driving the wheel, or is something else at the helm? The truth is, we're all connected, part of a vast web of energy that flows through every particle and wave in the universe. We're cosmic expressions, manifestations of the same universal energy that gives life to stars, planets, and galaxies. And in this grand dance, there are no winners or losers, only different HYTHMS and melodies. This realization can be both liberating and terrifying, as it challenges everything we thought we knew about reality. It's like having the rug pulled from under our feet, forcing us to reevaluate the world and our place in it. But what if this is exactly what we need? A wake-up call to awaken to the truth. Imagine being able to see beyond the veil of illusions, to tap into the infinite potential that lies within and beyond us. Think about all the times we've been told we're not good enough, that we're not talented enough, that we're not successful enough. Can we now see these words for what they are? Limiting beliefs that have held us back for too long. Can we begin to let go of these restrictions, to embark on a journey of self-discovery and empowerment? What if we revealed that we're not just individual beings, but instead, we're part of an intricate tapestry of consciousness, interconnected and intertwined with every thought, word, and action? This understanding has the power to move us from a place of separation to one of unity, from a state of individuality to one of unity. Imagine the transformative potential of this new perspective. We can begin to see that every encounter, every experience, and every choice is an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to evolve. We can choose to let go of competition, to release the need to be superior, and to instead focus on being our authentic selves. We can realize that our unique expression of the universe is enough, that our genius is universal. As we step into this new understanding, we can start to feel the energy shift, a subtle yet potent transformation that occurs when we align with the truth. Our hearts begin to open, our minds expand, and our spirits begin to soar. We start to see the hidden patterns that connect us all, the deeper symphony that plays in every moment. We can now understand that our individual journeys are not isolated events, but rather a vital part of a much larger story. We're part of a grand cosmic tapestry, woven with an intricate beauty that's yet to be fully revealed. And in this tapestry, every thread, every stitch, and every moment is precious, interconnected, and sacred. This is the subtle yet profound shift that happens when we unveil the hidden truths that change our lives forever. As we step into this new understanding, we can smile in the face of life's challenges, knowing that we're part of a harmonious dance, a hidden rhythm that beats with every heartbeat in the universe. The most profound truth I discovered was about love. Not the romantic kind you see in movies, but something far more fundamental and powerful. It's a concept that I had previously misunderstood, viewing it solely as an emotion. However, as I delved deeper, I began to realize that love is the very fabric that holds our reality together. When you truly understand this, you begin to see it everywhere, even in life's challenges. The intricate web of relationships, the delicate balance of ecosystems, and the beauty of the universe are all underpinned by the same force that we often overlook. It's a truth that is both beautiful and humbling. As I looked around, I started to see the world from a new perspective. I saw how love is manifested in the smallest acts of kindness, the simplest gestures of compassion, and the profound connections between people. It's not just something that happens between individuals. It's something that permeates every aspect of our lives. It's this realization that has changed me forever. It's given me a sense of purpose and belonging, a sense that I am part of something much bigger than myself. And it's this understanding that has allowed me to approach life's challenges with a newfound sense of confidence and determination. For the first time in my life, I feel truly grounded. I know that no matter what challenges I face, I am not alone. There is a powerful force at work, guiding me towards healing, growth, and transformation. And this knowledge gives me the courage to face any obstacle with an open heart and an open mind. These truths I've shared with you today aren't just philosophical concepts. They're practical tools for transforming your life. The reality you experience is far more malleable than you might think. Your consciousness is like a garden, and these insights are seeds that, if nurtured, can grow into profound personal transformation. It's a new perspective that can help you overcome obstacles in your daily life and break free from the constraints of your current reality. You have the power to shape your own destiny, and it's not as mysterious or overwhelming as you might think. The process of transformation might seem daunting, but with the right mindset and tools, you can achieve remarkable results. By harnessing the power of positive thinking, you can rewire your mind and unlock new potential. This isn't just about setting goals and working towards them. It's about cultivating a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. You'll learn to recognize the patterns and habits that hold you back and develop the skills to overcome them. The journey is not always easy, but the rewards are well worth it. You'll experience a sense of liberation and freedom that you never thought possible. Your relationships will deepen, your confidence will soar, and you'll discover a new sense of purpose and meaning in life. The potential is limitless, and it's all within your grasp. Start by taking small steps towards your transformation. Begin to apply these principles in your daily life, and you'll be amazed at the progress you can make. Be patient and persistent, and don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. Millions of people have successfully transformed their lives using these same principles. The power to change your life is within you, waiting to be unleashed. So, what are you waiting for? Take the first step today, and get ready to unlock your full potential. I'd love to hear about your own journey of discovery. What hidden truths have you uncovered in your life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. As I reflect on my own journey, I am reminded of the transformative power of self-discovery. It's a process that has changed my life forever, and I'm grateful for the lessons I've learned along the way. For me, it all started with a desire to understand myself on a deeper level. I wanted to know what drove me, what made me tick, and what truly mattered in my life. I began to explore new perspectives, to question my assumptions, and to seek out new experiences. Mindfulness was a key part of my journey. Through meditation and journaling, I became more aware of my thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. I learned to observe myself without judgment, to praise myself when I needed it, and to treat myself with kindness when I made mistakes. As I delved deeper, I discovered the importance of authenticity. I realized that trying to be someone I'm not or living up to someone else's expectations was exhausting and unfulfilling. I learned to be true to myself, to own my quirks and flaws, and to celebrate my unique strengths. One of the most significant epiphanies I had was when I understood the power of gratitude. By shifting my focus from what was lacking in my life to what I already had, I found joy and contentment in even the most mundane moments. I began to appreciate the beauty in the world around me, to see the good in people, and to cultivate a sense of wonder. My journey of self-discovery has not been without its challenges, but it's been worth it. I've grown as a person, learned to navigate difficult situations, and developed a greater sense of empathy and compassion for others. And as I look back, I'm reminded of the magic that awaits us when we dare to look beyond the surface and explore the depths of our own hearts and minds. May you find the courage to take that step, to delve into the unknown, and to discover the hidden truths that will change your life forever. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of life's deeper truths. May you find the courage to look beyond the surface and discover the magic that awaits. Until next time, stay curious, stay open, and most importantly, stay true to your journey of discovery.